Right lads, Sissy Vlog here, and welcome to another weekend preview. This weekend preview we've got a couple of interesting games, as well as Charlton travelling to Blackburn. I'm not going to that because I don't really want to travel all the way up to Blackburn to see Charlton lose. Although I'm not sure they're going to lose, but I have no reliability because if I'm going to travel up to Blackburn, I at least want to be going up there with the hope that we can win. But I'm not. I don't even think we can. To be honest, I don't think we can do that. But that prediction is going to be saved for last. So let's get straight in there with the 12:45 kickoff in the Premier League. That game is Newcastle United versus Liverpool. Both teams in fairly good form going into this match. Newcastle started hit form before the international break after a quite poor start to the season, or an average start to the season, a slow start to the season, you could say. And Liverpool just had a really good start to the season in general. Like their whole start to the season has been really strong. It's at Newcastle ground, which might give them an edge, but I still think that Liverpool have got enough to see off Newcastle, and I'm predicting a 3-2 win. Remy looks likely to score a couple, so Remy's been scoring quite a bit for Newcastle as of late. And then obviously you've got the normal suspects for Liverpool, likes of Sturridge and Suarez and etc. Next game is Arsenal versus Norwich. Arsenal obviously had a really good start to the season since the first game. Obviously, the first game they lost to Aston Villa, but since then they've looked really strong. Obviously, just signed an Ozil. But I still feel like sorry. I still and Norwich have had an average start to the season. They haven't done much. Haven't seen much from them. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be a 3-1 win for Arsenal. Obviously at the Emirates, very hard place to go almost all the time, especially now with this really good Arsenal side. Next game is Chelsea versus Cardiff. Chelsea having a very poor start to the season. Most people expecting them with the return of Mourinho to have an amazing season, but it's been an incredibly poor start to the season for them by what you would expect. But at home, Mourinho doesn't lose at home. It's almost a state of fact that Mourinho doesn't lose at home. So I'm going to predict a 2-0 win for Chelsea. I'm not going to score. Don't know who's going to score their goals. Maybe a striker will score for them eventually. Because as far as I know, a striker hasn't scored for them in the league yet. So it's hard. Next game is Everton versus Hull. Everton again had a really strong start to the season. Now they had the last remaining unbeaten run, I believe, and it did go, and it did end just before the international break with a loss to Man City. But I thought like it was going to bounce straight back against an average-looking Hull team. Hull will be in a relegation battle, for the rest of the season. I'm not sure. I think they're definitely one of the candidates to go down. So Everton should get a fairly comfortable 2-1 win. Next game is Man United versus Southampton. Man United have had an incredibly poor start to the season. Southampton had a very good start to the season. But this is where Man United might be looking to kind of turn their season around. Rooney had a good international break. He had 2 good games for England. Hopefully they can get Van Persie scoring again. He's in my fantasy team. I'm hoping for that. I think if they reach the quality that they can, they will see off Southampton. It's a 2-1 win for Man United. Next game is Stoke versus West Brom. Not much about that. To say about that. I'm predicting a 0-0 draw. Next is Swansea versus Sunderland. Again, not really much about that. Swansea look very strong again this year, and Sunderland look very poor this year. But they have got the new manager, obviously Gus Poyet, taken over from Paolo Di Canio. But I still think that it'll be a 1-0 win, but maybe more impressive display from Sunderland. Maybe to compete with Swansea at home would be a good kind of a good thing for Sunderland, because Swansea are a very good team. Next game is West Ham versus Man City. Obviously West Ham beating Tottenham just before the international break. Man City beat Everton. If all goes to kind of if everything goes to what's on paper, then Man City will walk away winners. I picked a 2-1 win for Man City. Next game is Aston Villa versus Spurs. Obviously Spurs losing to West Ham just before the international break. Aston Villa, I believe, can't remember the Aston Villa result off the top of my head, but they've had quite a good start to the season, beating the likes of Arsenal and Man City. And as far as I know, I think Benteke may be due to return for Aston Villa. I'm not 100% on that though. But I'm going to stick to 2-2 draw. Next game is Crystal Palace versus Fulham, the Monday night football game. Crystal Palace versus Fulham at Selhurst Park. Obviously, Palace had a really poor start to the season. They've got 1 win, and that was against an even poorer Sunderland team. So I can't see them beating Fulham, and Fulham really need to start Darren Bent. I've said it over and over and over and over again. Darren Bent, if he's playing for you, he will score. It's fact. He scored just before the international break, and it's just fact. Darren Bent scores goals. He always scores goals, and that's how it is. And I'm confident that if he started, or even if he comes off the bench, that he'll score against Crystal Palace. Unfortunately for Crystal Palace, they do look like they're not going to last a season in the Premier League once again. Next game, obviously moving on to the Charlton game, we have Blackburn versus Charlton away at Ewood Park. Again, I can't be too confident about this. I really can't, just because you can never rely on Charlton. It looks like Jacko's due to return. Kermgren again looks like he's due to return. Solly still looks unlikely. I hope, but likes of Kermgren Jackson could be a huge help. Kermgren, he just gives us that final bit of, that final bit of something up front, that final bit of quality to get the ball in the back of the net. And I always thought that Simon Church always looked better when he's partnered up with Kermgren rather than partnered up with Sordell, who I cannot stand. I cannot stand Sordell. He just doesn't want to be there. So I'd prefer Low Pickett's not experienced enough and he's not good enough yet. I'd much play him over someone like Sordell who just doesn't want to be there. I'm predicting a 2-1 loss, unfortunately. But I wouldn't be too surprised if he won. Again, as I've said over and over again, it depends what Charlton turn up on the day, whether it's the Charlton team that face like Nottingham Forest and Blackpool, or the Charlton team that face Millwall. It's really just a big difference. And obviously, during the international break, Charlton actually beat a strong West Ham team 4-2, and it wasn't even like the West Ham reserves. It was a good, strong West Ham team in a friendly size. And it's fairly, I thought, but it's it would have been very different in the if it was a competitive match, I'm sure. I also think that Jordan Cook deserves a start because he had a very good match against West Ham, and I've always kind of been a fan of him, and I don't understand why he hasn't kind of gotten a chance in the first team, which I'm kind of hoping sorry, that's my phone. It kind of give my mind's completely gone off track then, what I was saying, but my phone going off has completely set me off track now. Yeah. Oh, that's a bit of a cock up. But, alright. So I guess that's the end of the video. Please follow me on Twitter. The link will be in the description below. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later. Cheers.